and them file shotting, reporting on the Bamboozle Get News Network live from the set. Yes, sir. I don't know, see if anybody jump up in this jump. Mm. Nah, man, what's happening with it? But I'm gonna just go ahead and get right into it. Some channel updates, some personal updates, and just some random talking points. You know what I'm saying? You know how I do it. Uh, First, I guess channel update. I guess I've reached the YouTubeal requirements to be monetized. Okay, you know what I mean? I did set up like channel membership. However, if you do, I appreciate it. But I actually want to give somebody something more than what they're already getting for free. So I'll brainstorm maybe tonight when I get some time as far as like what can I offer the people? You know, can we turn this into a platform of business ideas, or can we organize? I know it's hard for us to come together, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe at some point, I don't know, man. Maybe some type of event, or just like a healing session, or I don't know, something like. I just want to give back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just take. You know what I'm saying? I think this should be a reciprocal action. You know what I mean? I'm I'd rather just make the money from the corporation, me myself, with like AdSense or whatever they call that. But I don't know what that means, of course. And then what happens is every time I go live, I notice and I'll set all the settings properly and so on and so forth. But as soon as I click off the jump, it reverts back to private, and then I gotta remember or somebody email me and remind me to go ahead and put it back to public. I don't know what's up with that. I guess inconvenience, hindrance, whatever the case may be. Um, as far as people I personally know in my personal life, and a few, that we correspond with, it seems like everybody's stepping into a new season of breakthroughs or the level up in some, which I'm under belief, let's say if you're somewhat like me, right, where it's been a long time coming, but change gonna come. Let's say hypothetically, you get a car. Everybody else on earth got a car. But when you get one, it tends to propel you a little better because you're not used to having one. You know what I'm saying? So you can do more with less. Or whatever everybody else take for granted, you're able to then, take the next leap rather, as far as whatever you're trying to do personally, professionally, spiritually. Me getting my license back, I'll drive to some remote location, just chill out that junk. And that's my way of getting away and kind of, decompressing from the world and responsibilities and whatnot. But this real quick live video is just a public service announcement. How I'm noticing this, right, and I talk about groupings of people and so on and so forth. And this is more in the religious community. It seems like there isn't any or grouping of people that the adversary isn't able to influence through hierarchies that come from the world, right? So I'm looking at this rhetoric about the Hebrew Israelite camps. You got and I'm not too familiar with them, like ISUPK. They're all 501c3s. So I think there's a spirit that come with 501c3s. You know what I'm saying? And the adversary is able to use that spirit that come from that to put you on one side of the spectrum or another. When, biblical masculinity is just being a man. Like you're not overly rah-rah, but you will get jiggy if you got to. You know what I'm saying? You're quiet, but you're growing in knowledge and wisdom. In the Christian church, the spirit under the 501c3 seems to be, the go along, get along, jive halfway sweet, kind of flimsy in your mannerisms and whatnot, accepting of the world and so on and so forth. Then on the flip side of it, on let's say the Hebrew Israelite cult, well, cult, yeah, I said it right. Um, let's say Pastor Dow and them, let's say ISUPK, the Sakari people. I'm not too familiar with others other than that. They seem to be on the other side of the spectrum in reference to hyper masculinity, machismo, um, multiple women, um, and I've seen this spirit right in treatment in the housekeeping department, right where I served at. It was the lowest rung as far as that goes, right? But all the brothers were the bully coon brothers. They rah-rah, but they real stupid. They beat on their chest. But if you challenge them intellectually, it make their brain explode. or they'll try to intimidate you with physicality. And once they see that don't work, then they blackball you or they whisper behind your back because they can't intellectually or spiritually match with you. And you don't have to flare up. I've been seeing you coming. I was trying to figure out what took you so long to actually try me. You know what I'm saying? Because in the bully coon spirit of Negroes, they try other Negroes who aren't in their fold, division and like the Israelite brother that be on the street fighting over corners. If you took the Bible out they had, you would think they were gang members. But how they conduct themselves, the energy they bring in, the rhetoric that they use, fighting over corn. That'd be like Paul and his squad and Peter and his squad preaching the same gospel but fighting, and the Gentile looking at them. They a joke. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, in my humble opinion. And I believe it can't be all the brothers that are in these various groups. It just be the leadership. So eventually, as you grow in, like I've been in certain groupings and then just broke off because I'm like, nah. Or I don't think worldly hierarchies um are meant for godly spiritual people in that particular sense. Like I had a partner of mine, um, knew him from treatment. He's over in the Delaware area, and he just inboxed me and said, he's being ordained as bishop. Okay, I mean, if you say so, but again, under the 501c3, outside of preaching in a church, and some of the church do give out food and whatnot, but where's the influence in the community? Do they even think about the community? When I look at the scriptures and whatnot, right? They was proverbial for the modern day term now. They studied in the synagogue and, fellowship together. And then all their miracles were performed or whatever caught the attention of Rome because of what they were doing in the proverbial streets. The Christian church, unless they can do it for social media purpose, is absent in the streets. The Hebrew Israelite brothers are in the streets, but yet they're intimidating people, condemning people, right? And then giving Hebrews or those who know their true identity a bad outward look. So it's like the adversary has sewn up the black man on which side. You either buck broken way over here. Hey, what's up, brother Anthony? What's happening with you? You either buck broken way over here or you're hyper masculine, whatever, with an institutionalized spirit. And then from what we're saying from the Sakari people, the leadership, I don't want to get all vulgar, but it seemed like they like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's no different than the Muslim dude who be locked up, but he be punishing dudes and, taking dudes' masculinity, and somehow that makes him feel more like a man. So if this were a prison planet, which it seems to be, the Christian black man would be, the guy who come to prison and he don't really know what's going on, and then he end up being somebody, woman, for lack of a better term, right? Then on the flip side of it, the Hebrew Israelites be like the Muslim gang member dudes who might pray and work out together and do all that. But then when that's over, they want a little bussy on the side, for lack of a better term. And these are the groupings of Negroes in the religious community. And then you have those who might be on, you might go to church. I started out in the Christian church. But how do you realize you were once asleep until you wake up? So from what I'm saying, unless it's, purposeful, right? I'm not joining any social grouping unless like-minded individuals come together like Voltron for a specific goal, reason, purpose. It don't have to be, okay, what's happening with you? Hey, what's up, Farrah? What's going on, brother Abney? Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm at Planet Fitness. I started to do this outside, but it's a little windy. The weather's starting to break, and it's a little windy outside. So I don't know if y'all will hear the distortion or whatever. But I think, and here's what I'm not the super spectacular, like, prophetic God. Like, I'm learning all this stuff on the fly, yeah. And I come with what I know to be true. But like I started the video off, a lot of people that I know personally or have corresponded with me are in new seasons of life. And I guess now that we're embarking almost on the real new year, I just want to speak life over everyone and stepping into your new season. But in order to step into a new season, we have to be mindful not to get caught up by stuff that may have been in old seasons of our lives. like people or these social groupings on your job. Go to work. No, I kick the bobo at work, but I'm mindful not to give out too information. I'm mindful to add to the ambiance of the social grouping at work, but I don't tell everybody all my business and I'm gone. And I ain't thinking about no work when I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Handle your business, get out of there. If you're in, a grouping in a religious sense, if you're there, okay, cool. I guess you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, and spiritually, you start out, you kind of a babe or whatever. So you need milk. But as you naturally grow up, the milk ain't going to suffice and you need more than milk. Now you might need some cereal, or you get a little older, some Lunchables and whatnot. So I've gotten, along my spiritual growth, which was the vehicle of stop using drugs and whatnot, um, I find now I don't need to eat so much. Not spiritually, but physically. I don't need the social acceptance. And then, they got a saying in the recovery world, social acceptance doesn't constitute recovery. So the world liking me is actually, if the world liked me too much, I might be doing something wrong. I stay under constant attack. Subtly, overtly, it don't make no difference. I'm just used to it. But the weapon's formed, but it hasn't prospered. Even if it looks like, okay, I can't meet this challenge financially, or they got all the leverage as far as the system, or whatever the case may be. I'm going head first, headlong into this battle. Now, the Lord fights our battles, but you're still required to show up on the battlefield. Like I was thinking prior to this live, this prayer says excuse my voice, y'all. It's our time as God's people to elevate. And in order to elevate, you got to separate. But there are I'm noticing these like spiritual forks in the road, right? They ready to enter into the promised land. They escaped from Egypt by a mighty hand of the Most High. They had their experiences in the wilderness where people got cut off. They crossed the Red Sea, you know what I'm saying? Disobedience, they had to stay out there longer. And this is all symbolic of my life. They had to stay out there longer than they had to be. I believe of the grown folk only who Joshua and Caleb were allowed to enter into it. Moses messed up one time. He let them see it. He wouldn't let them enter. But before they take the promised land, right, the wall looked fortified. You know what I'm saying? The enemy seems stronger. How do we get up there? How do we take it down? Woo, woo. And then God had them do something totally unorthodox to what it looked like the problem was. So he didn't give them an attack. He said just march around the city. I believe forgive me, was it once for 7 days or 7 times for 7 days? And then on the 7th day, blow the trumpet and the walls will come down? Which I'm taking that to mean, and I'm just flowing with this, I'm taking that to mean because the weapons of our warfare aren't carnal. And I do this too, and I got to be mindful. Because I think I can outsmart people. I'm super intelligent than the average person I run into. But how I get the victory, whatever's looming or attempting to form against me, has nothing to do with the actual problem. It's actually praise and reverence to the Most High who got me to this point to see this battle. That he is going to win for me if I direct my spiritual enemy towards him and not a problem that it seemed like I can't solve. Woo! I just came up with that. And I'm saying it to y'all, saying it to myself at the same time. Because I got a super spectacular mind, right? I think, and I don't mean to do it. I'm getting weaned out of it. But I'm like, okay, I got to set up this chess piece. Because I don't like people playing me for stupid. So in my flesh, I want to show them I'm more intellectual or intelligent than you are. And I perceive who you are, so I can kind of move you around like chess pieces. And I believe I can. Like on that movie Colombiana, where she told them, you're exactly where I knew you would be. And they are. However, my victory, in my mind, I can get the victory by my own hand. But is that my own ego? Nah, don't do that. And when I think about it, I've never been able to do that. Give me the glory, look to me for instruction, and I'll give you the victory by doing something that seems to have nothing to do with your actual issue and problem that has you in between a rock and a hard place. And I ain't no super spectacular preacher or nothing. I'm just an average, everyday brother like everybody else. But these are things that I'm learning in real time along the journey. Today's a Sabbath. I started keeping the Sabbath what, 9 months ago. It's been within a year. I've learned more spiritually having left the job than I did while I was working. You know what I'm saying? I've had various financial issues pop up that naturally it'll look like um I'll lose all the progress that I've made thus far, and it'll make it look like I was a lie. But I ain't lied to nobody unless he come through for me. And that's what's happened. Happy Shabbat, happy Shabbat. But that's what's happened. So it makes me even more, one, there's no desire to go into the world other than, subjecting my own flesh. But like, even if I made a rap song, right, and I got 10 million views and Def Jam called me, I'm not even answering the phone. I don't want to fool with them people. They make my skin crawl. You can't really bait me in with nothing of the world. Oh, here's $50,000. Line your homeboy up. No. One, if it's my homeboy, I don't want to line him up. You can't pay me to line him up. And then if I'm making a financial agreement with a wicked person or entity, now there's an attachment. I don't want to be attached to the wicked because, as you notice, when you try to break out, let's say, a gang or organized religion, they just don't let you leave. They got to tear your name up first, or they got to make it hard for you, or whatever the case may be. You don't get to leave without a battle. So I'd rather just stay left. Like, even in my personal life, nobody can really, I mean, they can talk a little yin yang and stuff like that, but can't nobody really hinder me. You know what I'm saying? In my personal life. Can't nobody just call my phone and talk dumb. Or don't nobody have enough personal information on me to like try to set me up. Because I've been cutting people off. As you continue to grow, evolve, you'll be surprised the people who you had love for who start looking different to you. You know what I'm saying? The people that I've done the most for have become my greatest enemies and adversaries. In the sense of subtle hindrances, overly calling me, wasting my time, pulling on my heartstrings, attempting to elicit sympathy for situations they put themselves in. As I become a man, I can't afford to make bad decisions. And let's say I make a mistake, I'll just learn something I previously didn't know, but it wasn't like preconceived, oh, I shouldn't do this, and I do it anyway. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? I've lost impulsivity in that regard. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the way, because for whatever they're setting up as far as like the digital grid and digital money and all that, like I made a video a couple of videos ago about all roads leading to Rome, i.e. the beast system. All these, whether it's the Christian church, whether it's the Hebrew Israelite, he's always got some type of setup before you get to your proverbial promised land. So let's say I'm coming out the streets. Oh, I should go to church. That makes logical sense. But you don't understand how the church has been subverted. So then you get to the church and then figure out, oh, no, this ain't it after a period of time. Then you leave, then you got to go through that battle. Excuse me. But it's all destined, even that, to harness a personal relationship with the Most High yourself. I've been stopped asking people to pray for me. I know I pray for myself now. You know what I'm saying? Right, don't give them the time of day. I don't give them my energy. For the most part, as best as I'm mindful to, sometimes I let them know, like, hey, woo, right? But that once I'm done with it. Because I got to be leery of that. Because this warfare thing in my spirit, it'll have me tempted to go to war under my own hand, or like, I'm going to just take the like almost like I call Peter principle. Like when they were ready to lock Yeshua up and he cut off the soldier ear. In my thinking, he didn't do that to like usurp authority. He did that because they ready to do something with his minds in them, and he defending them, not realizing that was out of order as far as God's sovereign plan. Well, what's up, Tim Godspeed? What's happening with you? Well, what's up, Tamik? What's happening? Shalom. And I do that. And because I got these super spectacular ideas that might not be in the Most High will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love, and I do it in a personal sense, in like community work, like interpersonally, wherever my feet at. But I don't think I'm meant to create some type of organization on paper and then with a hierarchy of these type people. If it was, it would have to be spiritual, not necessarily on paper. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't think we meant to operate even in the sense of how the world has constructed hierarchies. I think that's why my spirit rejected, because I don't think it's biblical for this day and time. You know what I'm saying? So of course, strive to make your fake money and get tangible items and so on and so forth. But the Most High is going to get us out of all this. Because for as intellectual as I think myself to be, there's no way I can intellectualize my way out of a spiritual system that is now being formed in the physical realm. Satan been doing this longer than I have. I can't beat Satan intellectually. You know what I'm saying? Yeshua didn't even try to do it. He ain't arguing and go back and forth with the man about various talking points. He just hit him with the Most High word and left it at that. And that's what I gotta be mindful to do. Cause sometimes I wanna vindicate myself. You know what I'm saying? But he do that in his time, and I gotta be patient. I'm patient in a lot of other areas. He just making me patient in other areas that I didn't really know I needed patience. Cause I'm thinking I gotta. Now, of course, you physically defend yourself, but against the scoffers and the backbiters and them, he do all that, and it really don't bother me none other than the fact that I believe these people to be scum. Oh, wow. See what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like, I don't know where it is coming from. Um, cause like being led by the spirit, again, cause I intellectualize, I don't know if I'm doing that right. Cause I want to do it right. But even back to last week, I've been just saying stuff off the cuff, and it's either coming out in the news or somebody will say something. I'm like, wow. But I was just trying to figure out something to say on YouTube. Like it wasn't like I had a dream or a vision. You know what I'm saying? I think he just flowing through my spirit, but I ain't nobody for real, for real. You know what I mean? I'm definitely leery of becoming egotistical or bigot or thinking, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? I just be flowing with it, not realizing that's what be happening. Or somebody shared a verse with me in the middle of the day, and that was the verse I read that morning. You know what I'm saying? Let me know I'm in alignment, or that's all I want to do at the end of the day. Would I like to strive not socially, but financially, or as far as have my own land and grow my own food, and I ain't gotta go work for nobody. That'd be beautiful, but it might not be the Most High will. And all the stuff I know now has come through the fire of affliction, or these various things that have come against me. I was just reading in Psalms, I'm thumbing through Psalms to the Lord. Like if I had a cushy life, I wouldn't know what I know now at seemingly such an integral time in human history where everybody's getting bamboozled. Everybody. Whether it be the political spectrum. What they call Elon Musk, I seen what they call him on that jump? Brain chip master or something. No, master brain chip. He's gonna chip everybody up, and they're gonna accept it. And this is why I think I was led, without understanding, I was being led to make a video about medical insurance fraud. Now, they inbox me about don't talk about that. But then when I talk about it, it come out for me to talk about what I'm talking about now, right? So I think they pushed all, or the fraud been going on, and they all knew it. It's just now coming to light now because they're already adopting a new system. So they're going to create enough public outrage because of the human error, not realizing they allowed that environment to foster to come in with a new system that'll be AI accounting, you know what I'm saying? More digital currencies and whatnot. You'll probably do it again. They're just doing it again in a different sphere of society. You know what I mean? That was health related. This is finance related. Them probably your two biggest issues: your health and your money, so that you can feed yourself, house yourself, so on and so forth. I ain't taking part in none of it, and I already know that. I already see them. I can smell them forming to play up, and everybody's gonna go along. Especially here in Babylon, where leisure and comfort are at the top of the scale as far as what people desire: leisure, comfort, finance, social acceptance. Man, shucks. They talk all that yin yang, and they still might complain about it while they go get some, microchip or whatever the case may be, so they can go to work. And then you probably ain't gonna have no job because they'll have robots doing it. So you'll get a microchip to sit home, get universal basic income, which will be just enough for you to feed yourself and house yourself. You won't have nothing left over to do nothing else with. And then you'll be eating laser meat out of thin air and all that. That don't even, like, how can the world bait me in and this is the future they're constructing? Yeah, it might be hard, But I'm better off in the woods. Like I was thinking about this, right? Y'all might trip off me though. I was thinking about like back in the days during like Rome or like when they didn't have supermarkets and you know companies that can mass produce items and all that. Because they say like we're not as masculine as they were back then, or we don't eat the same way. Because if you don't hunt it or kill it or whatever the case may be, you'll starve. So you'll be surprised who you can become when you ain't got no choice but to do something. So me and my squad out there, we gotta get this dead, or we're gonna starve to death, and our women gonna be mad with us. But I want to be one of these super duper type Negroes. Now I don't want to shoot. I don't want to shoot the deer with an arrow. I want to hawk him down on foot and get that respect. The fact that I ain't shoot the deer with an arrow, I hawked them down on foot and L'd them out. You know what I'm saying? And then I can tell my grandkids or my kids about it, and then anoint one of them to take the family further. And you know what I'm saying? That's all, yeah. But these be um the ideas in my mind because I run various contingency plans. Like who I am now, I knew I had to be that years ago. I just started envisioning it, but I didn't understand the cutting people off. I was talking about more character wise. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna have to duck the Jezebel, or you know what I'm saying, or I'm gonna have to duck the bamboozling Negroes. I'm gonna have to tell the system of white folks I don't care nothing about them, because that's what happened too. A lot of times we're all not us, but we're all fighting to be accepted by the system of white folks, and then move with white folk and want to be a great. It's no different than the plantation. I'll do whatever I gotta do in the field so I can get in the house and be next to boss and have a more cushier existence. That's all Negroes fighting for. A cushier. Again, I gotta keep going back. We're not fighting to be set apart. We're not fighting for actual freedom spiritually. We're fighting and complaining about a more comfortable enslavement. Please treat me better, even though I'm dependent on you, has never worked in the history of mankind. Ever. Ever, ever. Say the 12 scriptural tribes or the descendants thereof. I don't think we're set up or anointed to fight and win. Because let's say we fought and win, or our heads would blow up, and we definitely wouldn't be trying to serve the Most High. At no point in time in Scripture, when He allowed war, I guess for the establishment of Israel, right? From my understanding, He anointed them to go to war, and He gave them the victory. But if they did something He didn't want them to do, they lost. Even though they're the most gifted people on earth, you still ain't more gifted to beat someone that I don't want you to beat. That's the epiphany I done came to. Even in my personal life, I would love, like, I haven't gone like my old, like, they're completely falling apart, and it's giving me such great joy. Not that the people are falling apart, but the institution that was destroying the people's falling apart. Just like it seemed like these Hebrew Israelite camps are falling apart from the leadership aspect, or it comes out they taking all your money, or they taking your wives or selling them to somebody else, and this, that, and the third. But they're still under the construct of white supremacy. Bully coonism allows you to oppress other Negroes while you're still subservient to the system. But I ain't seen none of these Negroes liberate nobody or have a influence in the community with meekness. The Christian church ain't in the community, any community, other than assimilating themselves to acceptance in the world. That's all I see. And I'm pretty sure there are those who don't, to some degree. But if you're under the back, like rent under Caesar, what's Caesar's? So if you're taking, the 501c3 thing, so you don't got to pay no taxes, they can still tell you what you can and can't talk about. What I was trying to figure out was, where's the Hebrew Israelite CDL school, yo? Where is uh, the AME Church Reserve Bank of Gold? And when I be in, like, let's say I'm in these various institutions and just bring up tangible solutions or suggestions to paint the target for us to move forward with something, they say that's one of, like, the old, like I was talking about last video, like these old Negroes and how they still in politics and all this head, but they don't groom nobody else and whoop, right? Why are we still listening to old Negro? But I know for certain, One thing, the old black Democratic Negro, um, he can't learn or accept or process new information. They still got us fighting battles from what was civil rights, 60s? We talking about almost 65 years ago. They still, man, I just seen. Now I didn't know this one, right? Because I'm not in the church or whatever. But the what's that? Now I used to do it when I was in the AME church growing up. Like Lent was a big thing. I didn't know Lent corresponded to like all the carnivals and the dates of Mardi Gras and all that, and how that's back to Tammuz and all that. I didn't know that. You right, Farrah. They don't want you out the plantation. Case in point, and I like the kickback, right? Because I be saying this stuff spiritually, right? So I be joking, but I be serious, right? So I went on the change.org joint. This is during the time, I guess they're still doing it, or the first wave of when ICE was deporting illegals, right? So I pinned me up, and I use AI to do it. I pinned me up a petition, and I put it on my Facebook page, because everybody will say like they hate me, or because of the stuff I say, or my belief system, right? But I don't care nothing about that, right? So I'm like, well, let me test y'all. If y'all hate me so much, sign this petition to get me deported, right? Only one person signed it. And I told my homeboy I'd be shamming with, right? And he hang out with the people that stole my money, right? But he do it for social acceptance. But these people that made him put on a true story. These people that made him put on a tutu. He used verbiage only like white people use. That's kind of like gay and stuff. But then project and say I'm gay, but you hang out with all the gay dudes for. And I be telling him this interpersonally, right? So then he'll like, I don't know what he calls himself doing, but I see through all of it, right? So what was it? Shucks, I lost my train of thought. He had said something. Oh, that's what. No, he had called me a pagan. I said, how am I a pagan? But you hang out with all the paganism people. The projection. And you're not even good at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's crazy. Oh, that's what it was. I called it. So when I did the petition, then I talked to another white guy we know, right? And he was the first one to say, hey, me, but he do it joking. But he might. But I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At least he the first one to tell me he hate me. You know what I'm saying? So I tagged him in the petition and asked him to help me, right? So, and I said, because my main man won't do it because he want me to stay on the plantation. You ever notice that? They don't want you to grow and progress because somehow everybody Negroes think they're in competition with each other. But then they won't help you leave. Or they don't want to see you leave either. You know what I mean? It's crazy, yo. It's no different than the plantation. Like all this shit, excuse me, all this stuff we seeing now in modern society, it's already been done before. Like all them carnivals and whatnot. So they had one, I guess about this time, because the weather was just breaking, in Baltimore. I don't know nothing about it. I just, step foot on the boulevard and I see everybody butt naked or with these artsy type whatever on. And don't get me wrong, it looked nice. But I don't want to be a part of a lust fest. You know what I'm saying? Which essentially that's what it is. But they do all that. You're supposed to, like the Purge movie, you're supposed to do all that, sow your seed of debauchery and whatnot, and then chill out on it for 40 days till Easter, which the date's wrong, and that's pagan. The whole, like they changed the day and times and all that. During there, everything that's not the way it's scripturally set up in your Bible, it's of the adversary. It ain't no just somebody just came up with an idea. And if they did, it was demonically influenced, even if they didn't know it. Right, do dirt and hold your hand. Not realize I can see your hand dirty. Nah, that ain't dirt. I would speak, and I'm seeing it all over the place. Like I went to mediation because I got this upcoming child custody situation jumping off. And I already knew they were going to project and gaslight. It started out all right, but I already knew it was going to go left because they can only hold it together but so long. And then they just started making up stuff. So I'm like, well, where's the proof? They just make up some more stuff. I'm like, nah, I mean, you said this is, whoop the whoop the whoop, right? Okay, show me. Because I know it ain't true. And then they get pompous and rah, 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 rah. I'm like, all right, that's over with. Then they left. You know what I'm saying? They hate to be held accountable. I don't know what it is, because I be trying to put myself in the mind of others to understand where they're coming from. But within the narcissist mind, which seems to be proliferating society, they're actually stupid, but thinking they smart. So there's no way possible you can see through them. Like the delusion, or how I say, because we've done, or they've done so much, he will send a delusion that they will believe a lie. These people are believing their own lies. And back to them Sakari people, I had talked about it in videos where, prior to this coming out, where it seemed like we're sympathizing with the victimizers. Like I'm saying, like the dude who, I guess he a Mongol or Mongolian or whatever. So he done infiltrated some black Hebrew Israelite, gets to the zenith of power, and then does all this Roman stuff, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm saying people who are in leadership or have a name, we should forgive them. Yeah, you should, but not fool with them. But like, you know, like giving them a pass. But when these Negroes be on the street fighting, they don't give each other a pass. But we'll give the oppressor or the bamboozler a pass. Or make some excuse for them why you keep doing not make a mistake, but do all this devilish stuff over and over and over again. But you try and do right, you catch hell. Make one mistake, man, they ready to bring the hammer down on you. Ain't no sense in even fooling with them. At this point, it's kind of laughable to me, or just looking at it from a social observational standpoint, and then coming on here with some content. We all go through the same thing, kind of similar, or in different ways, but it's a similar kind of spirit that's attacking. It might, like mine might be at work, yours might be in your household. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing, yo. And Farrah brought this up. That's another thing. In the Black Panther movie, after they had squashed them through, you know, the drugs and deindustrializing the inner city and taking out the leadership, right? They know black people want to save her, right? So they said, if y'all want to save her, we'll give them one. But it won't be a grassroots one like Yeshua, who born in the middle of nowhere and it's just prophesied. No, we'll manufacture one for you. Like these various gang folk, all that. Come to find, these aren't actual gang members who rose up through the ranks. They must have had some meeting with them peoples like I believe Ringo did. And then they push them in the algorithm. They set them up on podcasts that people see. They give them finance. And somehow these people have power to influence gang culture. But now gang culture, which I don't even know what you call that, because nobody's adhering to the rules of gangsterism. It's just something you use to get on or make money or get women. But nobody's sticking to none of the rules of it. Just like in the church, they don't stick to none of the rules of the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I guess they in the Hebrew Israelite community, I guess they stick to the Torah to the best of their ability, but then live worldly. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my stream is lagging. I think they be messing with it though, because somebody said my last stream was lagging. You know, I guess they try and ball the block. I might stay on here maybe another 10 minutes, and I got some other thing to do. Anyway, I don't know if y'all seen the first part of it, but I just made I guess eligible for or monthly for you to get all the same stuff I'm giving to you free. What I'm gonna attempt to do is come with more concise notes, things of that nature, and somehow, some way to like some type of business plan or something that could benefit you, the viewer. Rather than me just, I feel like I don't want a donation. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's just me though. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'll figure that out. It'll come. Yeah, I don't know if I did it right, so don't nobody do none of that. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Just like as soon as I get off here, or somebody on me, because it's public, but as soon as I log off, it clicks back to private, and then people tell me they can't see it. Then when I go into settings, it'll be back to private. So I think they probably jiggling the wires, as they say, or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm believing. Like the Yada Awakening man, where he comes. I'm thinking these people have had backdoor, excuse me, maybe, because it seems like everything in the room want to take your cheeks. They didn't probably have one of these backroom meetings with some of these folks. They get pushed in the algorithm to push a certain doctrine or narrative that ain't scriptural, not even close. You know what I'm saying? It don't benefit us none. You know what I'm saying? And then these become talking points of irrelevancy. Does the man pay 100% or is it 50-50? That argument is irrelevant if two people come together and are trying to make it work. But I don't know how that works. I ain't never upload no payment stuff and all that. So I'll let y'all know that on another video or whatever the case may be. But even with that, Like, that's kind of progress. Because I think I've been making videos now over a year or close to it. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows growth. Of course, I don't want to be no bamboozler or just be wanting to take money and all that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just progress. I've been consistent. I really didn't get no traction on this channel until I made a video about, I believe, the Trump assassination attempt was manufactured or staged, and I actually put in the title like that. And then they knocked me for 7 days. I guess it was all in the Most High time. Just stay, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm trying to, I don't know, take down a wall, I might have to hit it a few times before it come down. Again, paralleling, the walls coming down in Jericho. They didn't hit it. They just took the orders of the Most High, marched around the joint, blew the trumpet, which seemingly wouldn't have nothing to do with no walls coming down. But that's what happened. So whatever you're led to do, even if it don't make no sense, go ahead and lean to that. Because now I can tell the difference between my mind and my spirit. Like my mind said, my job with all these budget cuts and funding, I might well jump ship before it crashed. But my spirit keeps driving me to work. Versus when I've got jobs on my own and my mind said, yo, we need this job, we need to make money. And my spirit ain't feeling it. And if my spirit ain't feeling it, I ain't going. I can't go. Just like with, just the stuff in the world, the club, or I don't know, let's say they got, like around here's real rural, they might have a bull roast festival. I might ride past it, John, going to keep me straight and keep me harmonious. And consistency do pay off. Like it was, when I started off on this sobriety track this time, it took me like 13, 14 months to get a job. And that was a job I could have got had I still been using drugs or whatever. But again, I was feeling some type of way about that because now I'm trying to get a career, right? But this is the only opportunity I got. So like Sister Tamika was telling me, just be thankful for what you got and just maximize it. So that's what I did. And right before they offered me a promotion, and then I felt led to quit. But me being led to quit actually put me on a path of a financial breakthrough. Now my spirit feel all right, but my mind is tripping that my spirit coming from. And my funding running out. And I don't know what my next play is. Even though I've been consistent. I've been putting in the work, spiritually and practically. You see what I'm saying? And then when I came to the end of what I could do, then the breakthrough came. Which propelled me to work at the Synagogue of Satan Treatment Center. Where now, I'm inserted around people on a consistent basis. But now I see all what he was doing to me all the years in the darkness. Because I was sociably accepted and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And still had no desire to fool with them people. And this, if you can, family, grouping, job, socially, if they're doing stuff or stuff is going on that you don't agree with, especially now, you need to get gone. Because other than maybe one or two people, everyone I know there has regressed. They look different. They're having nervous breakdowns. I won by choosing me and put my faith in the Most High. But that was the test because they were offering me a supervisor position, a salary. You know what I'm saying? I can have a title. I can be amongst leadership. My soul. Or to keep my soul and spirit where it's at. I don't care now. I mean, of course I do. But because of the journey I've had to walk and how my spirit has been vexed for years, I protect it by all costs. I might have a hair trigger. If I think maybe, if you make me think, nope, I'm protecting the spirit, man. And I see the benefit in it. I see the benefit in being able to be by myself. Like one time, I was still riding a bike back then. It was like a Friday night. I rode my bike to the water like 10 o'clock and just sat out that jump. And I was amazed. I said, yo, it's a Friday night. It's 10 o'clock at night. And I ain't looking for no bonquisha. Like I'm perfectly content doing what I'm doing right now. That was a blessing. Fair says maybe you were there to make a difference. And I believe I did so. By the wisdom and the spirit. And I did. Because here's what'll happen too. They say I was their best employee. But if you stand up for what you believe to be right, because now you have principles, you'll go from everybody favorite to the most hated. But you haven't done anything to anybody. You just won't let people do stuff to you, and you have clear-cut boundaries and beliefs that you don't detriment. What I'm saying in these various social groups is nobody is getting oppressed or attacked for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're not, like, even if it's wrong, they're not getting attacked. It's hard to attack the people because people have sympathy for the victimizer. Like in the case of, and I'll just use it as an example, right? With the New Breed Ringo situation, right? And I understand New Breed said he called out his mom because he said if anybody, Genghis Khan would say, if anybody said anything about his mom, he would fight him. So in Louisiana term, they call it trying to pull you in the water. So if I fight me and we can get this over with. You see how these polar opposites are coexisting at the same time? You're playing tough, but you won't do the tough stuff. You'll just talk tough. But if the man, again, disrespect you to the manner and the degree that you said, why wouldn't you want to put your hands on him? You go straight to gunplay. And you're bigger than the man. But strength and masculinity isn't in physicality. It's in your heart and your spirit. It's what you stand for. It's how you operate. It's how you conduct yourself. You see what I'm saying? True masculinity doesn't. True biblical spiritual masculinity has no desire to whoremonger or just heap women unto yourself and all that. Zero. And yeah, I said that's fleshly stuff. And I believe it's fleshly stuff because we understand we're under the system of, let's say, white supremacy. And I believe it's in the Old Testament where it said women will rule over you. And that is the case. Like, I got a woman supervisor, which don't make me feel no type of way because I got my own power. So her power or authority over me doesn't make me feel no type of way. You see what I'm saying? And she hasn't done anything. You know what I'm saying? So that don't, and I understand that. But I guess when you're insecure or haven't dealt with it, then you go exorbitantly on the other side of it. So let's say I'm a fearful guy. I come on here and I talk tough. Man, nobody gonna woo woo, yeah, 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 yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then somebody asked me, and these people love talking. Just like when I went to mediation. When I called their bluff, or I said, let's go straight to the point, they go the scenic route. Hoping you forget that this is the point where we need to be at. That's why they just continue to talk. And then I'm saying, like with Ringo, and I seen this when that whole situation first happened. If somebody would hop on his live and say, oh, what's going on? He would call them names and you need to learn from the master and whoop the whoop the whoop the woo, like, which is a decent brother, you know what I'm saying? You never really know somebody, but to the level of how he's changed from a year ago, and I understand there will be a great falling away of the faith. And it seems like there's a great falling away of the faith. I think somebody offered him a play. Because once he got to North Carolina, he's totally flipped mode squad. But I think whatever was lying dormant is just being exposed now. That's all. And as I said, talk has always been, words are powerful, but talk has always been cheap. That's why I noticed along my evolution, I don't really want to talk unless somebody actually talking about something. But I don't really care about, the sports. I don't know, wow, it's even more wicked than Sodom and Gomorrah. But the average conversation threads that most people have are totally, it don't do nothing for me. That's why I don't want to talk. Oh, wow, I ain't never heard that one. To me, y'all say, old folks say empty wagons make the most noise. Watch out there now. Or they say how the loudest person in the room is the weakest. Probably same concept. Amnesty say he called and then somebody has a respectful ulterior opinion. And I say, nah, you stupid. Instead like, yo, what you mean by that, bro? Like, nah, explain it to me, cuz, or woo. I just go straight call you stupid. But here it is in the oppressive kind of spirit of exploitation. I'm calling stupid the people that support me. In reference to my mediation, I'm being attacked, but if something go wrong, I'm the first person you call for support. Where, like, I don't know, I might have to research, like, y'all, I called, like, here calling y'all, or somebody disagree or say something, or no, that was actually doing this year or something like that. And I say, nah, we get to arguing. And I'm like, well, you can get off, and I start name calling. and you support the channel or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, gaslight manipulation is standard operating procedure. So much so, if you just straight up or genuine forthright, it's almost like speaking Chinese to these folks, deceiving, and they themselves being deceived. Everybody just lying. Like when I first went to Baltimore, everybody was just lying. I never forget. I said, Most High. I didn't know his name at that time. I said, Most High, if you want me to know something, you got to teach me personally. Because everybody down here lying, and I don't understand for now that I'm legitimately trying to rectify, my issues and the wrongs of my past. Why would you place me in this situation? And it was like that for years. Anthony says a lot of people misinterpret truth as hate when it's actually love. Rebuke a wise man, he'll love you for it. And Farrah says society has gone off the deep end. That was a Scarface verse. Society gone off the deep end. I find myself face to face with myself while I'm sleeping. That's why I want nothing fool with it. I don't want to fool with none of it. But I'm already been on here almost an hour. But if y'all got any, and I ain't talking about no, like, I don't know. I'll talk about that next week. But any ideas for, I don't know, how we can, I don't know, I don't want to say link, because we're all in different spots, but maybe some online, or if you got like anything you do that you want promoted, or, you know what I'm saying? A good book. Gosh, I forgot my brother's name. Shucks. What's my man's name? He had emailed me, I don't think he mind me saying it, with certain excerpts of his book, right? Or that brother Ralph Emerson, whereas though like it's very introspective. He's painting a picture for you, but it's putting him on, but it's leading the reader to a growth and so it's almost like you're walking through his life journey with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I would promote that on here free of charge. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no problem throwing alley oops. I ain't no ball hug. You know what I'm saying? Well, if y'all got any like business ideas or any trending news that can help the brothers and the sisters, I definitely put it on here, post it, whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? I just solidified knowing like how I do things, whatever. I got a man was fighting, and I was, go for 20 interviews, don't get no job, but you just keep trying. And I've been through it, so I put him on a stream like, yo, these two Jones might give you some love. He ended up banging both of them. I said, but look, right, how'd it work? Okay, I'm sitting at the desk. We just opened, right? Yeah, CEO King got me. Yeah, where that's at, cuz? He actually, this video is sponsored by CEO King because he the one who kept pushing me to go live. So I'm sitting at the desk, right? And a washing job or something. I'm like, why would they hit me like that all of a sudden? Like, I think it was washing tractor trails or something, whatever. So I'm like, that's odd. Then my man come through the door, right? But when he come through the door, like, my spirit picked up, he had a little different fun sway with him. So he eased up on me. He's like, yo, them Jones you sent me, yo, I got both of them Jones, bro. I said, hi, I jumped up, right? Like, yeah, that's what's up, right? Da-da-da. And one of them is working at a car wash. So I said, bro, that's crazy. Because the people just emailed me saying about the job and whoop de whoop. I'm like, but maybe that was just a precursor for him walking through the door. You know what I'm saying? They got a vehicle. And I jumped up and down. Like, yeah, because I know how it is. Like, when you get a job, a vehicle, just some regular stuff, right? That most people take for granted. When you get it, you on another level. And what you had to do to obtain it, and you ain't do no old wild stuff, or you ain't finesse and bamboozle. You went through the trials and the tribulation. So now you grateful. You know what I'm saying? I caught 2 DUIs back to back when I was 21. I ain't had no license for, I think this May will be 2 years since I've had a license. And I hadn't had one in 20 years. And I'm sitting there talking to y'all in a video. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't going backward. Go backward for what? It was hard enough getting to this point. Just some regular stuff. I can actually take care of my child. And my words actually hold weight. I've been a fool all my life. A fool. Now, out of nowhere, let the fool now say he is wise. And the wisdom come from pain, trials, and tribulations. So it was a purpose to it. I just wasn't, now I was going through it because I did certain stuff. But the Most High turned something evil for his good. The fact I talk about the Most High proudly. Y'all remember one time, true story. I say, Yeah, I understand heaven and all that, but heaven don't seem so great if I'm just up there singing all day long. That's what I said, yeah. Now I'll be leading the choir. One more again from the top. Yeah. Farrah says an open panel is a good idea. Oh, see, I gotta get, cause I know I see the button about like inviting people and all that, but I don't know how to do all that. I mean, I know how to do it, but you know, progress slope. Like I'll keep adding to my campaign. You know what I'm saying? I'll pick up something small. I get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm picking up something different. Now I'm learning something different. It's just, progress, slow progress. And I'm a firm believer, you can't speed up progress, but you can darn sure delay it like I did for eons. Well, what's up, Steve Ross? What happened with it, baby? I've been on here almost an hour. Um, Again, if now that I'm monetized, I want to spread the love. So CEO King, if he got some music, I'll highlight on his jump. Anything that can help the brothers and the sisters. I would like it to be just an open platform of sharing of practical information, scriptural information. Because we're all set apart. We all don't know each other in real life, but somehow the Most High has brought us all here. And for that, I'm greatly humble. I want to do my due diligence to give back to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, other than my mother, my daughter, my aunt, y'all the only family I got. Y'all the only people understand me. I mean, people understand me, but you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing to be felt. You know what I mean? Feel me? And on that note, one love, I'm going to have to sign off, y'all. Just keep on keeping on. Pharaoh says he brought us together all for his praise. It's almost like church. You know what I'm saying? Gotta crawl for you and walk. One love, y'all. You know how I sign off. Ooh,